So, this is a 40-gallon breeder. It was the refugium on my old 56-gallon tank that I had. I had baffles in here. I just scraped those out. And it was all white. The back was white. The bottom was white. So it's been completely redone.
Looks brand new.
Looks new. It looks pretty new. I had a couple silicone spots on the back that I did not want to take a chance in disrupting the silicone.
Compromising the silicone.
Just kind of cut around that. I got Ocean Revives are going to be on this, along with Reef Brights XHOs. And I built the custom aluminum light rack there out of 1/8" angled aluminum. I bought at Lowe's. It's got the eShops Eclipse L overflow box on it. And now I got that for $50 last year on Dr. Fosser and Smith. So
I think I remember that. Was that when everybody kind of went crazy and the pricing was just unbelievable?
I got 12 Tom's Aqua.
Yeah, you brought me like 2 of them actually.
Yeah, I got them for $5 a piece. So.
Yeah, great steal. So what's the plan for this?
It's going to be basically, right now it's going to be Zoas going here, and stuff out of my other frag tank are going to go in there.
Which we haven't made it over there. We're getting ready to show you these as well.
I got some torches recovering over here in this nursery frag tank. They'll be going in here too. And whatever sticks I end up ever having to cut and trim back are going to go in here. It's going to be tied in a loop. I got this calcium reactor off of Rico, the Geo 818.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take care of the whole system. You know, it's going to be circulating. The return pump is going to pump it over. I ran that today, and it'll be plumbed, and it'll come out where the drains are for the 120.
Right, and that will easily do it. That's rated for 500 plus gallons. So you're talking about a total of about 180 gallons with this system here, since it's all going to be tied in together. So definitely should not have any problems keeping up with anything you do in either one of these systems at all.
Yep.
So that's the plan for that. Just as now, let's take a look at this system here. What do we have here? What's the dimensions of this?
It's a 18 by 18 by 20. I think it's a 27-gallon marine land cube. I was going to quit saltwater hobby, so this is what I bought. I was going to put platies in it. I kept killing every freshwater fish I had, so I was like, I'm going to go back to marine fish because to me they seem healthier. You know, obviously I couldn't keep none. My pH was always red. I couldn't even get it down, even when I put fresh water in there. So it was just meant to be, I think. And I had some rock in here when I first set this up. It was going to be an actual reef tank, and kind of things morphed and to what they are now. This is obviously just a frag tank, but I documented my first video. I think Pelfrey was the first person to ever comment, and it kind of got me inspired to go ahead and start documenting my process on YouTube.
And then the rest is history, right?
The rest is history.
The rest is history. So what lights do we have on this as well?
I got Reef Brights on that. These are just the text though. And I have a Chinese black box. It's the same ones on the Refugium over here, but I can program this.
Looks like a original reef breeder.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I think it was rebranded as something else.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, I can change the settings every half hour on both channels. So.
And then you got to actually hang on the overflow box for this system.
I do. Actually, you know, when I got back into the hobby, I hadn't done a whole lot of research online, hadn't kept up with what was going on in the hobby. Back when I quit, everybody was still running wet dry sumps.
Yeah. Trickle, yeah. Trickle
So-
filter, wet dry.
I got the hang on the back, and then somebody was like, well, you need to convert that to a filter sock. I was like, what's a filter sock? I've never even heard of them at that point, you know. So I did a little modification, a little DIY there, and actually got a sump sock on that. Doesn't look the greatest, but things have evolved over here.
Right. And it's looking really nice. You did an awesome job with what you got over here going on. So are you going to continue with this, or are you going to kind of maybe, once you transfer the majority of things here, maybe go ahead and shut this down, or what's the plan for this, the future?
I'm not 100% sure, but I would like to keep mushrooms and stuff in here, I think.
Okay.
Because I got crushed coral substrate.
Right. It gives it a place to really attach and do great.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look in there, there's all kinds of Humericordia mushrooms. They're just crawling all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like little pencil erasers everywhere. If you like get down and look into the tank, and they're just everywhere. But that, probably some zoas in there. And obviously, if I get maybe a new acro, I might go in here. Like I've got my mother colony of the reef wrap orange passion,
Mm-hmm.
and the home wrecker still in here,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of them I don't want to put in the other system yet.
Right.
Kind of keep them isolated, so if something happens in one tank, I have backups.
Right.
You know, that's where we kind of always talk about banking corals with people, kind of banking with myself at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a different canopy on this. That's why this one looks like crap, but paint started flaking off, and I went through a big algae outbreak in that tank, and it's doing a heck of a lot better now. Like I think I told you the other day, I think it all took a spiraling downhill effect when I got bryopsis in my tank, and I
Yeah.
used reflux on it. The reflux, I couldn't run my protein skimmer for a few days, and then it just went to crap after that. All my Chaeto died. I still can't outgrow Chaeto in the system anymore. It was running fine in there for like a year and a half, but still I'm not able to keep it.
Do you think that could have been the for every action there's the reaction, meaning because you ran reflux in the system, do you think that there still could be traces of that, maybe that soaked into the silicone and still making things, even though if you have, do you do water changes on this?
I have a couple here recently.
And you do run carbon?
Yep.
So I don't know, maybe there's something that's still lingering. I don't know. You are running carbon. Carbon is known to really take out a lot of things you don't want
Right.
out of the water. So I don't know. So, but you were obviously growing Chaeto before you even did that. And once you've done that, now you're not able to keep Chaeto. Now, with that also being said, you have took down the fish load out of this as well.
Yep.
And this does have a significant amount of corals in here, so therefore the corals are still competing with the algae as well. So the number might be just, obviously they're just utilizing it faster than the Chaeto can, you know, get enough to grow.
Yeah. Like you're talking about fish load, I had that Atlantic blue tank.
Yeah.
Was over here. I had him over here for a long time, and I seen him picking at stuff. I mean, like he was probably had a purpose. Okay, so
Yeah.
he was probably eating some algae that I didn't really realize I had. And I went a long time after I moved him to the 120 without a tang in here. So I think he could have possibly been doing more than what I thought.
That too, yeah.
Still not sure why I can't grow Chaeto.
That's the mystery of this hobby. No matter how long you're in it, you always get those moments where you're like scratching your head.
So I think it was last year. I was, trying to dose nitrates to get my nitrates up to even detectable. So I was dosing nitrates, and then my phosphates went down really low. So there's obviously a correlation between
Oh,
the
there's
two.
definitely, yeah.
So it's a balancing act with those two. And then kind of when I did that, I kind of noticed the chaeto dying off, and then I got the bryopsis back all at the same time. So maybe it was me dabbling with the nitrates that triggered everything. Could have been self-inflicted wounds. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I must say, Pat, I mean, you're doing an awesome job since you know, came back into the hobby, and you know, you've obviously grown a lot. I mean, I've been doing YouTube now for what, 3 years, and
Yep.
from where you started when you first came on my channel to now, it's like you're doing a heck of a job. So continue to do what you're doing, and hopefully we can figure out some of these things that has us scratching our heads, that it seems to be nobody in this hobby can answer some of these questions. It's just one of those things there. I mean, there's just really no, I mean, there's probably an answer to it, but we just can't find it for whatever reason. So,
Yeah. So I kind of want to bring up the subject of, you know, I had a 100-gallon tank over here where the 120's at. And you can still see where the T5s were hung on the ceiling. And it crashed. It got turf algae everywhere. It was horrible, just horrible. I swore off the hobby. And obviously I came back. I was like, okay, so if I'm going to do this, I'm actually going to do my research. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to learn what phosphates are. You got to learn how to dose alkalinity and calcium. You really need to check that stuff, so you
can't
see
be
what's
lazy.
going on.
Yeah, you can't be lazy. You need to.
Not at first. Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
Not at first, but yeah, you got to actually see what it's doing. And you always talk about, you can kind of tell what your corals are doing by the way you look at them.
Yeah.
So some of these things have issues. I know that.
Yep.
But it's not any of the minor stuff that we know how to test for.
Good point there, because we can have things that are doing awesome, and there's other corals that should be doing awesome because everybody else is doing awesome. So what's wrong? I mean, we've tested, all our parameters are coming, you know, into a good range that we can test for. So those are other things, those are other issues that I don't know if we can solve. It's just like, well, me and you got on a plane together. You got the flu because somebody else got it, but I didn't. I mean, why? Maybe some of these corals are just more acceptable to certain things, and you know, inside the aquarium. I mean, what else is there to explain that? It's like we can't answer some of these things.
No.
We don't have a crystal ball, and you know, so.
I can't tell anybody out there that's wanting to get in the hobby. It's a great time to start the hobby. So much advancements in technology as far as dosing supplements. Back when we started, it really wasn't testing. Equipment, skimmers, lighting, everything's a heck of a lot better now.
Yeah, way 10 times, 20 times better now.
So if you got that can-do attitude, you can grow a reef tank.
Right.
For sure.
And, you know, I think anybody can start off with SPS personally if you just pay attention. If you're going to be, you know, really on top of it, and if you have that I can do it attitude, you'll probably be more than likely 90%, 99% just fine. The problem is when things don't go as well as you want them to, you can't take it personal. I mean, I'm here right now. I see all the corals. I definitely see the ones that are loving life, and I see the ones that are truly struggling, you know, for whatever reason. How do you have 90% of your livestock doing great, and then you have the other 10% that are, you know, maybe 5% that are, and then the other 5% it looks like they're ready to check out. For what reason? How can, you know, 4 or 5 holes over, one coral's looking good, and then the other one is looking like crap, and they're right there in the same proximity of each other.
Yeah, kind of like, you know, earlier we were talking about, you know, maybe weather changes causing coral stress and such. You know, I had tenuouses in here and tenuouses in the 120 that checked out in the same 2 days. So different water systems completely.
Right,
Nothing's
good point.
Contaminated. The only common factor they had was air coming in from outside.
There you go.
And what's in here, obviously, but
Right.
yeah, definitely. Tenuouses are a hard one to grow sometimes.
Yeah.
Then once you get them, then you know.
You just got to get them to colonies, but they're really sensitive for whatever reason. I feel personally they're really sensitive to whatever's going on, and you know those and the red dragons, ice fire echinatas. Those are like my nemesis. Like they all give me the most problems, you know. So it's just one of those things, you know. You love the hobby, you got to take the good with the bad. And you got to keep at it until you get one that wants to stick and grow. I just want to say thanks for giving me the time and opportunity. And I love doing this. Hopefully I'll be able to go to other YouTubers' house just to see. We were kind of discussing a little bit about, you know, all the things you've learned from the live streams and stuff like that. And it makes me feel good, as I was saying before my battery died. That it's, you know, I can't take credit for this system. Ultimately, it's up to you. You're the one that's, you know, spending the money, doing what you need to do, doing the propping testing, water changes, the whole 9 yards. But it makes me feel great to know that I'm, you know, I have a little piece of the outcome of your aquarium. So, you have anything else you'd like to say before we get on down the road?
No, I can't. I don't think so.
You're good?
I think so.
All right.
I can't remember what I said and what I didn't. So.
It's a blooper. No, it's okay. Pat's shy. Did y'all know that? No.
You see me over here like.
Like no. But no, we just trying to make this hobby fun, get more awareness out there that, you know, this is what it's about. This is what it should be about, you know, just, you know, helping one another out and, yeah, just hanging out and having fun. So, like I said, I will leave a description down in my, of this video for his channel. So make sure you guys go over there, show him some love. You know, he doesn't always update. Obviously, he's married, kids, working crazy hours, sometimes 7 days a week. But when he does, you guys make sure you guys have that notification bell on. Show him some love. Comment on his video. Ask questions. He's good at returning questions, that's for sure. Yeah. He's always leaving some comments when he's watching other people's video. He's not a Rico pound and thumb up. That's me just trying to hurry up and get through because I got so much on my plate. But I try to let you guys know I was there anyway. So make sure you guys show him some love and subscribe to his channel. And with that being said, this is Rico's Aquarium. Till next time.